All right, let's jump straight into this Red Seal Bootcamp Explainer, where we are going to master the Canadian Electrical Code 2024 rules for Type FC Under-Carpet Wiring. And we're going to do it using simple, everyday job site language. Look, if you're an apprentice preparing for that big exam, or even a seasoned journey person who just needs a quick code refresher, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break down rules 12-800 to 12-824 so they actually make sense. We'll be using real-world job site examples, some handy memory tricks, and most importantly, we're going to talk about the why behind these safety rules. Here is our quick job site walkthrough agenda for today. 1. Meet Type FCC cable. 2. Where does it go? 3. Safe installation on site. 4. Protection and cable crossings. 5. Red Seal exam prep. And finally, number 6, a quick revision summary. Let's kick things off with Section 1. Meet Type FCC cable, the gear you need. So according to Rule 1282, a Type FCC system is essentially a specialized ultra-flat conductor cable designed specifically to sit invisibly under carpet squares to extend your branch circuits. Picture this. You're working in a modern, open-concept corporate office with a solid concrete floor, right? Now, core drilling through that concrete just to add a new floor receptacle for a desk, that is expensive, it's loud, and it's incredibly messy. Type FCC is the brilliant solution here. It's a flat wiring system that lays directly on top of the concrete, completely hidden by the carpet squares right above it. Now, this perfectly illustrates what I like to call the physical FCC sandwich. To make this ultra-flat cable safe for people to literally walk all over, the code requires a highly specific layering system. At the very bottom, you've got the bottom shield. This protects the delicate cable from the rough, abrasive concrete underneath. Then, right in the middle, you have the Type FCC cable itself. Those are your flat, separated conductors carrying the power. And on top, you have the metal top tape. Listen. This top shield is absolutely critical for safety. It's an electrically conductive covering that provides protection against physical damage and prevents electric shock. Think about it. If someone drops a heavy, sharp object or maybe drives a long thumbtack right through the carpet, it hits this grounded top shield first. That immediately trips the breaker before anybody gets hurt. It's a lifesaver. Moving right along to Section 2, where does it go? Navigating code locations. Okay. The crucial point here is that while hard, smooth floors in dry or damp locations are totally permitted under Rule 12-804, there's a massive red seal trap hiding in Rule 12-06. FCSC is strictly banned in hospitals, schools, and institutional buildings, with one huge exception. You can use it in their office areas. And why is that? Well, hospital patient wings have rolling heavy beds, bodily fluid spills, and critical life safety equipment. An office area is just standard, predictable foot traffic. Keep in mind, it is also completely banned in residential dwelling units, outdoors, or absolutely anywhere that's wet or corrosive. I want you to remember this magic number, 30. You are totally maxed out at 30 amps for your branch circuits using Type FCC under Rule 12-806. Oh, and here's another thing. If you happen to be installing this on a heated floor, that floor temperature absolutely cannot exceed 30 degrees Celsius unless the cable is specifically marked for higher temperatures. So, 30 amps, 30 degrees. Lock that memory trick in right now. Notice our hard voltage limit here. FCC is strictly capped at 150 volts to ground, or 300 volts between any two conductors. So why does this rule exist? Because again, this cable is literally right under people's feet. If the mechanical protections somehow fail, the code wants to ensure the potential shock voltage is limited to standard 120-volt system levels to ensure maximum safety. You are absolutely not running a 600-volt industrial feed through a flat carpet cable. No way. All right, grab your hard hats. Section 3, safe installation on site, building the system step by step. I want you to think of this 4-step installation as building from the ground up. Step 1, you roll out and secure the bottom shield. Step 2, the actual FCC cable is rolled out and firmly anchored to the floor using an approved adhesive. Let me repeat that. Adhesive, not staples, not nails. Step 3, you lay the top metal shield over the cable, making sure it covers absolutely everything. And Step 4, you finish it off with the carpet squares. Every single one of these layers must be secured properly to protect those live, flat conductors from the daily grind of rolling office chairs and heavy boots. Now for the final floor covering, Rule 12-808 demands you use carpet squares no larger than 750 millimeters. And here is the real kicker. You must use a release type adhesive. Think about why this rule exists for a second. If there is a fault, or maybe you just need to tap into the cable later to add another desk receptacle, you need to be able to easily peel up that carpet square without completely destroying the wiring system underneath. Because of this, traditional broadloom wall-to-wall carpet is strictly prohibited over FCC systems. To maintain absolute safety on the job site, we really have to look at the transition points. While the flat cable itself is secured with adhesive, Rule 12818 requires heavy-duty mechanical fasteners, like concrete anchors, for your transition boxes. That's because if someone trips on the box, we definitely don't want it ripping the entire cable right off the floor. Furthermore, Rule 12810 requires specialized end insulators for any bare ends, and Rule 12814 demands a perfectly continuous ground connection for all of those metal shields. Section 4. Protection and Cable Crossings. Navigating job site intersections. So you actually are allowed to cross two FCC cables, but Rule 12-820 strictly requires a layer of metal shielding sandwiched directly between them. This is absolutely crucial to prevent electrical interference and physical chafing. But pay close attention to Rule 12-24. Outside of these specific localized crossings, stacked runs of FCC are completely banned. You cannot parallel stack them down a long hallway. Why? Heat dissipation. Flat cables piled on top of each other under an insulating carpet will trap heat and create a massive fire hazard. Don't do it. Now, if you are running the flat cable up a wall to connect to a standard transition assembly or panel, you are entering dangerous territory. Rule 12-822 states you must provide extra mechanical protection here, like a solid steel kick plate or a conduit shield. This is to stop other trades, you know how it is, a drywaller or a carpenter installing a baseboard, from driving nails or screws directly into your live, relatively soft flat cable. All right, apprentices, it's time to test that knowledge. Section 5. Red Seal Exam Prep, our Active Recall Bootcamp Quiz. Let's look at your first job site troubleshooting scenario. Imagine an apprentice slaps down a massive 1,000mm carpet using standard permanent construction glue over a brand new FCC install. Tell me exactly what they did wrong based on what we've just learned. Boom. That is a massive double violation of Rule 12808. First off, they used 1,000mm carpet, but the code strictly limits us to 750mm squares. Second, they used permanent construction glue instead of the mandatory release type adhesive. If you ever needed to inspect that cable, you'd literally have to tear the floor apart with a scraper, completely defeating the entire purpose of an accessible undercarpet system. Next up, here is a classic multiple-choice exam trap designed specifically to trick you about permitted locations. A hospital administrator wants a Type FCC extension circuit directly inside a new patient recovery wing. Does the CEC 2024 allow this installation? Think back to our location rules. Absolutely not. No way. Under Rule 12806, the use of FCC in hospitals is prohibited. The only place you can install FCC in that hospital is in their dedicated administrative office areas. Exam writers love to throw the word hospital in the question to see if you remembered the specific exception. Always, always read the full rule, and especially those exceptions. Let's bring it all home. Section 6. Quick revision summary to lock in your open book navigation. Keep these key numerical takeaways super fresh for your open book exam, or honestly, just highlight them in your codebook right now. And here's a pro tip for test day. If you completely blank, go to your index and look up cables flat conductor to jump straight to section 12. Let's recap. Maximum 30 amps for the circuit, maximum 150 volts to ground or 300 volts between conductors. The 750mm carpet maximum with release adhesive. Hard floors only, completely banned in residential dwellings, and never, ever forget the continuous grounding for all metal top shields. As Rule 12A10 powerfully reminds us, the ultimate goal of all these strict restrictions is absolute electrical continuity and total sealing against floor-level dampness. Listen, in an office environment, someone is eventually going to spill a massive coffee directly onto that carpet. It's a guarantee. Your installation under that carpet square must be perfectly sealed to ensure that liquid spillage doesn't result in an electrical short or a disastrous fire. And that wraps up our deep dive into Type FCC wiring. Please take a second to like, comment, subscribe, and share this explainer with your fellow apprentices so we can keep making these boot camps for you. Before you go, I'm going to leave you with this provocative safety thought. If you get lazy, cut corners, and don't bond that top shield, what exactly happens when a sharp metal desk leg pierces the carpet and hits a live wire? Think carefully about the path to ground and ask yourself if you're truly ready to sign your name and your license on that permit. Stay safe out there and happy studying.